Demmer's story. One day when I was about 12 years old, me and my mom went to a friend of hers. They had planned to go to a local bar not so far from their home. There was me and the three kids and an older guy named Dave. It was late evening and we were all sitting in the living couch watching a movie. I noticed there was an old rocking chair in the middle of the room. Suddenly it started rocking by itself. I was freaked out about it. Then we start hearing step sounds, just like someone was walking with slippers on, and walked through the bathroom. Then the toilet flushes by itself. I never went back after. Sydney's story. Okay, I have a question. We have moved into this house back at the end of February, but one day this past week, after being in the living room by myself, husband playing his game, kids asleep, I hear three knocks. I thought they were coming from the back door, so I get my husband, and he grabs the gun and our dog and goes to see. Our dog didn't bark or anything, just looked around and came back in. The knocks didn't faze my dog. Well, that same night, hubby went back to his game, and about 20 minutes later, it happened again. Then he came and sat down in the living room with me. Never heard it again. Then last night, I was asleep. I have no idea what time it was, but he comes and wakes me up and said he finally heard the three knocks. I think it scared him, quite frankly. Then a little while later we heard it again. Then go back to sleep and I wake up to my youngest crying. I'm trying to soothe her. She is still a baby, so normal crying. But as I'm kneeled down beside her to comfort her, I hear five knocks behind me. It sent chills up my spine. Anyone have an idea what it could be? Nothing was on, nothing was running. It was just a silent house both times. Thank you. Jared Tyler's story. Thought I'd finally post something, so the first time I had anything odd happen was when me and my partner moved into our first house we rented. I woke up one night to see my partner just standing and looking into the corner. It really freaked me out, but I kind of shrugged it off. The next time was finding out her mum, her and her younger cousin can see people. Now the first time I met her nan, we were just talking away, then she looks above my head and says hi, and I'm like, WTF? And she said she seen a face above my head, so she described the person and it was my grandfather she seen, who I felt like he always watched over me. Then that same night we got in the car to leave, and the back door behind the driver's door was ajar slightly. Also found out it was my partner's uncle looking over her, and it happened every time we went there, so from then on I started to see my own things, which I could not explain. The first time I seen something was when I was at my work, which my partner also worked at. I was using the drop saw and seen what I thought was my workmate, waiting to use it, so I turned to ask if he would like it left on, and when I turned around there was nothing there, which really creeped me out. A few weeks later I was talking to our truck driver about it, and he said a guy who had worked there 80% of his life had passed away with cancer a few years ago. We also heard footsteps in our lunchroom when there were only two of us in the factory. The second time I seen something was at my mate's place. We had a couple of beers, played some pool in his shed. Then when it went inside, I had left my phone in the shed, so went back out to get it. I turned the light on and looked up to see an old man sitting in a lazy boy that was in the shed. I looked away and then looked back, and he was gone. I told my mate, then he told me it was a house that turned out to be someone I knew who had recently passed away, who was a family friend. So far, that's all I have seen, and to be honest, I don't really want to see anything else. Sorry about the long